Salutations, people of the tube sphere. Okay, so this one's a bit more silly than my last 3 videos. Again, it's an idea I've had rattling around in my head for some time and really had nothing else better to do with, so I figured I'd put it here and see how far it goes. I realize it's hardly revolutionary to say, but I've always been fascinated with the idea of being superhuman. Specifically, the idea of giving everyone on Earth superpowers. #syndrome was right. Anyway, it occurs to me that there are many different levels of superhumans in fiction, be it in comic books, video games, TV, movies, comic and/or video game movies. You get the picture. Well, today I want to try to categorize all quantitative varieties of transhumans, that is, people whose normal abilities transcend the average human base. Alright, well, I suppose a good launching point would be that base. The average, fit but untrained human can lift approximately 75 to 125% of their body weight, which, for men, comes out to circa 150 to 250 pounds. They can run at about 5 to 8 miles per hour, and sprint at about 12 to 15. They can jump an average of 2 to 3 feet, and the average functional IQ range is between 95 and 105. An uninterrupted fall of about 20 feet is enough to guarantee bone fractures. They can operate in temperatures ranging from around 32 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. They can survive approximately 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 hours without shelter in adverse conditions, and about 3 weeks without food. And if their internal body temperature goes above 95, they're all but guaranteed to be on ice. Standard hearing ranges from 20 Hz to 20 MHz, and standard reaction speeds clock in between 200 and 500 milliseconds, or 1/5 to half a second. Remember, this is all just a benchmark to start us off. Trained athletes are obviously capable of far greater feats, which we will get to presently. The heaviest unassisted deadlift on record is 6,270 pounds. The fastest sprint ever was 27.8 miles per hour. The highest standing jump was just under 6 feet, and the highest IQ ever measured was 228. The longest anyone has been known to have held their breath for was 24 minutes and 3 seconds. The record for sleep deprivation was just over 11 days. The record for going without food is 29 days. For water, it was 18. The farthest fall ever survived was 631 miles. The highest internal temperature ever survived was 115 degrees. The most sensitive human ear ever recorded was between 20 to 40 kilohertz, a whole order of magnitude outside the norm. The best vision ever recorded was 2010, which literally just means that they could see at 20 feet what a normal person could see at 10, and the fastest reaction time ever recorded was 150 milliseconds, or just over 1/10 of a second. Okay, I could go on, but think we've covered most of the bases. The point I'm driving at here is that while the human body is impressive, it is subject to some hard physical limitations courtesy of its dependence on complex organic chemistry, and thereby its vulnerability to the material properties of water. But we can circumvent this problem. Maybe not in real life, yet. But fiction has no end of workarounds for the problems of the squishy flesh bags we inhabit have foisted upon us, whether they be magic or technological in nature, or some fantastical combination. These, I believe, can be summarily organized by power level into 7 distinctly layered tiers, which I've chosen to outline in the following manner. However, I feel it is worth noting that I will be taking external modifications into account so long as they function as an intrinsic component of that life form's day-to-day functionality. So cybernetic grafts or magic powers are fine, but no power armor or magical artifacts. That clear? Good. Let's go. Tier 1. Superhuman. An augmented human's physical and mental abilities are increased to where their baseline stats line up with the regular human athlete's peak performance level. Examples of this include most ostensibly mortal superheroes: Batman, Punisher, Zorro, Green Arrow, people whose feats and abilities would easily get them into multiple halls of fame, but are still technically within the realm of plausibility, so long as you happen to be a billionaire, royal, or outlaw with nothing better to do than practice your swordplay and dial in your workout routine, that is. Tier 2. Demi-human. The baseline demi-human abilities are superior to anything any human is ever known to have achieved, but still well within the theoretical bounds of our biology. Examples include witchers, most fantastical showings of ninjas, Captain America, etc. Tier 3. Transhuman. Now we're pushing into the bounds of the unknown. The term transhuman, for my purposes, refers to those beings whose normal performance range across all areas start to push on the boundaries of what biology itself can manage, although still remaining within the theoretically allowable lines of organic chemistry. Transhumans are often depicted outperforming all known animals for feats of strength, speed, endurance, sensory perception, etc., outrunning a cheetah, benching cars and trucks like tissue boxes, dodging bullets, etc. As well, they are known to have certain extra-human abilities such as low-light vision, ultrasonic hearing, echolocation, electrostatic detection, etc. Examples from fiction include Spartans, Space Marines, minus their power armor, obviously, most common varieties of vampires sans magic, Deus Ex-style cyborgs, and so forth. Tier 4. Metahuman. Alright, now we come to the fun bit. We've moved beyond the reach of even the most sturdy organic compounds known to science and have gone instead over to the side of synthetic metamaterials and straight-up magic. Androids, robots, whole human cyborg converts, and even the more grounded superheroes like Iron Man, Spider-Man, or Black Panther. Most great mythological monsters such as cyclopes, trolls, giants, and dragons also stand around the mid to top end of this tier. Tier 5. Champion. As the name implies, we've gone beyond dipping our toes into the supernatural and are now taking a bath in it. Elevated past the limits of material science, demigods bolster their powers with elements of either hyper-advanced alien science or magic. Races such as the Viltrumites, Scions, or Kryptonians. Heavyweight heroes like Hercules, Kratos, or Dante. Arch-villains such as Sauron, the Lich King, or Dracula. Each and every represents a valid threat to the gods themselves. Tier 6. Primus. The name pretty much speaks for itself. Those with the powers to reshape, reform, realign, or otherwise alter the base forms and structure of reality to their wills. Be they wizards, Jedi, demons, trans-dimensional aliens, or some combination of the above. The one and only caveat to these beings' powers is that they cannot simply will things into existence. That much is reserved for the 7th and final strata on this list. Tier 7, Abraxas. The old gods, the endless, the primordials, Galactus, God the Father, all eldritch lords of creation and destruction. Their powers are so vast and so vital that their very existence is fundamental to the functioning of normal reality as we understand it. These beings stand in order above the very gods themselves. Able to command or alter the forces of nature at their leisure, they are the very architects of order, and they are chaos incarnate. Well, that about wraps up the topic, I think. Or at least my piece on it anyway. Like I said, this was just a one-off side project that I dreamt up one afternoon while I was bored, with only a modicum of basic research thrown in for flavor, so take it for what it's worth. And of course, feel free to leave your own thoughts about this or similar topics down below. Anyway, until next